Hey guys, welcome back to Adlib Talk, and this is my review for Titane. Having watched the trailer for this movie, I still had no idea about anything plot related. I must say that watching this in the cinema was an incredible experience. This is definitely a cinephile's dream movie and one that I will be fawning over for basically the rest of this video review. But before that, as always guys, don't forget to leave a like on this video if you enjoy it, and please do consider subscribing, as those are the two main ways you can help support my channel right here at Adlib Talk. Cheers, and let's get right into that review. So, Titane is hard to categorize. I guess ultimately it is a family drama movie with elements of horror and science fiction. It is directed by Julia Ducournau, famous also for Raw. Titane is her second movie release, and incidentally, for it, she became the second female director to win the Palme d'Or, which is the Cannes Film Festival's top award. It stars Agathe Rousselle, who is making her surprisingly feature film debut as our protagonist Alexia, as well as Vincent Lindon, Garance, Marillier, and Salameh. The basic plot here is that as a child, Alexia was injured in a car crash and had this titanium plate placed into her head. After that short scene, we see Alexia in the present day with a scar on the side of her head and working as a dancer at these kind of car shows. Something happens, I will not spoil, and she is forced to go into hiding. The rest you must experience yourself watching this movie. Let's start off by talking about the first 20 to 30 minutes of this movie. It is extreme, and I'm sure very, very controversial. I guess there wasn't much talk about banning this movie in America because it did not receive mainstream attention. I personally loved every second of it. The movie is beautifully shot, but the first 20 to 30 minutes of this movie are pure extreme cinema. The neon lighting, the camera work, the performances, they are all beautiful to behold. Now, after that big plot twist that I will not be discussing, the movie takes a very strong tonal shift, with Alexia completely changing her face and body through a number of horrific actions, such as breaking her nose. She's now imitating the appearance of a young boy named Adrien, who had disappeared 10 years ago at the age of 7. Her new father, Vincent, who's a firefighter, is called and immediately claims that yes, she is his son. And this is the second part of the movie, which moves away from the kind of thriller-esque style it had been moving towards in the first 20 to 30 minutes and becomes more of a family drama with elements of body horror and touching on the themes like gender fluidity and the attachment that can grow between family, as well as the theme of acceptance. Indeed, it is a movie packed to the brim thematically, and I'm sure I've missed quite a lot here. Now, as beautifully shot and visualized as this movie is, the performances are just as good. Agathe Rousselle gives us an incredibly intense performance as our lead character. She is not a good person, mind you, and yet as an audience member, I was just so fascinated by this incredibly complex character, and I just wanted to see more of her. I can't say I actually empathize with her, but I definitely was completely captivated and enthralled by Agathe Rousselle's performance. She leans a lot into physical acting since she cannot speak, or else she would give away the fact that she was obviously not Vincent's son. And talking about Vincent, what an exceptional performance by Vincent Lindon. He just oozes intensity and the contrast here between the tough exterior he showcases to the rest of the firemen and the extremely fragile and emotionally damaged interior as he struggles with his body image. In fact, he constantly attempts to inject himself with steroids to pump up his body, which is becoming weaker due to age, and the obvious trauma after losing his son. The relationship that develops between Vincent and Adrien is what ultimately makes this movie. We have two highly damaged characters who have both experienced intense trauma and yet eventually find comfort in each other's company. And through time, we see them kind of warm up to each other and lower their guard. And it is just fascinating seeing them together. I think the relationship develops in quite a realistic manner, and I could really feel the chemistry between the two. Now, I would like to talk about two particular scenes in this movie which really showcase just how brilliant it is. They both involve an element of dance in them, as well as brilliantly selected songs. The first is kind of in the early middle-ish part of the movie, with Vincent, who is confronted by one of his firemen about the true identity of his son. Vincent tells him that no one is to talk to him about his son, and then returns to Adrien and has this wonderfully emotional moment. It is brilliantly shot. The lighting is just so good. Throughout the movie, the lighting is excellent, but in this one particular scene, I was really, really impressed. And apart from the lighting, obviously the performances here are perfect. And I said, the song fits so well. And if you've watched this movie, you know which scene I'm going to talk about next. Yes, it's the wayfaring stranger scene. Again, we have a wonderful contrast between the very macho dancing done by the firemen during the party, who encourage Adrien to dance. Adrien then breaks into this kind of sexual dance on a fire truck, throwback to her repressed past. Seeing the awkward reaction of the firemen was great. This is a nice element of humor here, but it's also a wonderfully powerful scene and extremely well thought out as the director twists literally every concept of gender roles on their head. To conclude, Titane has definitely made it into my list of favorite movies of all time. It's powerful, it's thought-provoking, it is beautiful to watch, and it's definitely quite an experience I will think about for a very, very long time. Very few movies impact me the way Titane has impacted me, and for that reason, I believe it is only right that I give Titane my 5 out of 5 rating and the highest of recommendations.
The way she looked, the way she acted, the color of her hair. Her voice was soft and cool, her eyes were clear and bright, but she's not there.
Thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed that review. And if you did, don't forget to leave a like on this video, and please do consider subscribing. Cheers, and I'll see you guys next time right here on Ad Lib Talk.